Hello, Speed Gaming. Thank you for joining us once again for a wonderful Week 6 episode of our Echoes Tournament. My name is Marion Lott. I'll be guiding you through this wonderful headache of a preset today. Unfortunately, I'm going to be riding solo, it looks like, so you get to hear my alluring voice for the next, about hour to 2 hours, let's say. With that being said, let's get right down to it, shall we? On the left side, we've got Lenophis versus JhavA on the right side of your screens. And we are in Week 6. This is known as Item Loss Skip. So with Item Loss Skip, we're following what we usually do in any percent, which is item loss. There's a small little cutscene in any percent that we skip, and that way we get to keep all the items that the game gives us to start off with. This includes the following. So we'll be starting with Missile Launcher, Morph Ball Bombs, Boost Ball, Spider Ball, and Space Jump. We'll be starting in Landing Site, and as far as the runner's agreements go, our RAs today are multiplayer pickups have been shuffled, so that includes double damage, unlimited beam ammo, and unlimited missiles. We are in new patcher, so that means puzzles can be randomized. That includes the main gyro puzzles, mini gyro chamber, the echo locks for all echo doors, as well as requiring GFMC compound to have either A, screw attack, or B, power bombs in order to be accessed. Furthermore, one RA, which is a little bit different from the others, is Industrial Site. Now, in Industrial Site, there's a translator gate, which is usually violet, which leads to the transport to Aegon elevator, where you first step into Aegon Wastes. That translator gate has been agreed to be unlocked. So, our runners will have immediate access to Aegon Wastes upon starting this game. We do not need to search for Violet Translator to access Aegon. With that being said, both runners are ready to rock and roll. We have the Speed Gaming set up, so many thanks to Astral from Speed Gaming for getting this set up so quickly. And with that being said, we do have the auto tracker. So on the bottom, you'll be seeing the tracker. That'll show where all our item locations are and what each runner picks up along as we continue this wonderful race. Now, as far as both runners, we're running on a 3-win, 2-loss ratio. So either Lenophis or JhavA will be coming out with their 4th win, and one of them will have to take their 3rd loss. So with that being said, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or inquiries as we go along this wonderful race, please post them below. I'll get to you as soon as possible. But take note that I am just one person, so we're going to do the best that we can. But most importantly, remember to get your bottles of water ready, get your drinks set, make sure you have something to stay hydrated with, sit back, get comfortable. We're going to get this race started momentarily. And with that being said, the countdown has started from the race time room. These runners have been given the green light. We're going to get the official countdown started here in just a second, and then we're going to get everything moving to see what'll happen. Just going to take a little bit of time for it to catch up to us. There's the countdown. Everyone's ready to rock and roll. Again, we are starting in Landing Site. So keep note of that. We are starting with Missile Launcher, Morph Ball Bombs, Boost Ball, Spider Ball, and Space Jump. So immediately, right off the bat, we will be getting Hive Chamber B's item, and we'll be able to progress right into Industrial Site, get that item, and from there, it'll determine if we go into Temple Assembly Site or decide to go to Aegon first. Alrighty, it looks like Lenophis has a custom HUD color with a beautiful neon pink and a blue suit. That's a nice little feature of the new patcher for Randomizer. 2 things. Number 1, it allows you to change your HUD color, so you can pick any color that you want from the entire color spectrum. And number 2, it includes multiplayer suit colors. Yes, there was, or technically is, a multiplayer mode for Echoes, and each player has their own set color, blue, green, or silver. Those colors have been ported over, and you can use them for your main suit color here in the main campaign. And it looks like we've got blue, which is my personal favorite out of all of them, but all colors are nice. But our first step here, we're going to go right to Transport B access, and we're going to see what this first item is. And we get Violet Translator. Well, it doesn't matter that we left Industrial Site open, because there's a translator to open it. All right, so now this is where we may see a bit of a route difference. Industrial Site will be the next room, so they have two routes each runner can go. Either they'll take the left route, go up top and go towards Temple Assembly Site and Great Temple, or they're going to go for Aegon Wastes. Right now, I personally would say go for Great Temple and Temple Assembly, as that has a little bit more that you're able to do, and it clears out some early game checks. But it looks like we're going to get the gate lowered and get the item for a Cursed Lake, which says a Cursed Lake has missile related. Once again, a Cursed Lake has a missile-related upgrade on it. So that, we know for a fact that is a dead check, as it cannot be Seekers, and Supers falls under Beam-related. And speaking about Beam-related, we have light ammo on transport to Aegon, with the Violet Tit telling us main research has a translator. So that translator, that could be any color, either amber, cobalt, or emerald. We're not too sure yet, but here we are seeing the route differences. Lenophis on the left has decided to go straight into Aegon. Meanwhile, JhavA's decided to take a detour, and they're going right to continue through into Temple Grounds. And whatever Lenophis saw on Main Plaza, he doesn't look too happy about it. All right, now we're gonna check two different item locations. Storage B. Oh, there's our first STK and our first E-tank, respectfully. So we have an STK on Storage Cavern B, or Storage Cavern A. I'm sorry. And we're gonna step right into Mining Station A, which looks like possibly dark ammo on the spider track. Oh, can't get a good look at that. Meanwhile, JhavA's taking the path to the right. We're gonna go right into communications area. And we'll see if this item has anything for us. Unfortunately, we will get stopped at communications area. We will not be able to enter compound yet. We don't have the necessary equipment. Never mind, we do have the necessary equipment with that power bomb expansion. That gives us mock PBs. And a missile expansion on Aegon's portal access. Now, with that power bomb, that'll give JhavA one power bomb to use. Thankfully, that's all we need in order to get into compound and get this item here on Dynamo Chamber, which has our first suit. Look at that. That's an extremely fast dark suit. Now, that dark suit's going to help JhavA out especially well when it comes to the early Dark Aegon loop. Granted, we'll have one E-tank, and so we'll be perfect on our damage logic. It's just that suit makes it so much easier. And another information saying Ing Relic... Oh no! Ing Reliquary's got a key on it! Oh no, Ing Reliquary's got a key. That could be a required red key, or it could, at worst, be a Sky Temple key. And here's where those power bombs come into play. We can use that expansion to break into compound, and this gets us GFMC's crate item. We can check Wind Chamber, or Grand Wind Chamber. If JhavA knows to scan dash, we could check Wind Chamber Gateway, but we've got Dark Aegon key on Crossroads with Echo Visor on Compound. Oh, well, Echo Visor is going to be great if we ever find Annihilator. All right, so now JhavA's going to use the play going right for Transport A access to Great Temple. This will get us immediate access for Albert, UMOS 1, Transport B access, and Transport A. So 4 item locations with a violet tint. Meanwhile, Lenophis has gone for the Dark Aegon route. Going right for Trial Tunnel. We're going to see what's on the broom closet today. Does the broom closet hide anything of use for? Did the janitor put something here that we can use later? Or did they just put cleaning supplies? Let's find out. That's a Torvis key. That's not very good. You don't want to see a Torvis key right away. Oh, that might mean Chica has something. We don't have the information on Chica yet, folks. That is a hint that we can get. We just haven't found it yet. Meanwhile, we see two tricks being pulled off here. First on the right, using power bombs against Albert the Alpha Splinter and Albert's babies, or children, whatever you call the little splinters. We're just going to destroy them with the power bomb, and they're just gone. And we'll do the same thing with Albert here. Albert's our wonderful, friendly Alpha Splinter, and using a power bomb instantly destroys him. And Albert had main power bombs. That puts power bombs back into logic, as expansions do not count for logic chains. It's required on the main for logics. On the left side of your screen, we see another trick being used. We call this Jump Guardian Skip. Now, when you first enter Judgment Pit, which is the room that Lenophis is in, Jump Guardian is technically spawned in, and oh, there's the Annihilator Beam. Annihilator's gonna help with Echo Visor. Oh no, we have a required quad today! Required Quadraxis, oh no! We're in for a long race. And here we see another STK. This is the third one that we know about. Here on Junction Site. Oh, this game is not going well for us. Oh, if that was an expansion on Splinter, I apologize. Yep, that was an expansion. I'm sorry. I completely did not see that. Unless the mains fall... Unless they agreed that mains only give one. I need to double check that preset. Oh, that's my bad. Alright, so with Quadraxis required, the good thing is JhavA has what we need to skip the gate requirements for quad. There's 3 different ways to get around the Quadraxis gate. Number 1, you can either out of bounds it, which is banned in this tournament. Out of bounds is not required, is not permitted unless runner agreements. Number 2, you can do a triple bomb jump over the gate. Or number 3, if you have Annihilator Beam before fighting quad, you can use the Annihilator door next to Aerial Training Site and just quite literally walk around the door. We're going to be doing the third option, just using the Annihilator to skip the key requirements. So we don't need to find the Quadraxis keys. They are not required. And we have Dark Beam off of Transport Center in Aegon. That's a really great location. Dark Beam is heavily used in Aegon. This is one of the biggest finds here. Number 1, this gets us the Dark Aegon key off of Crossroads, so we can activate Dark Portals now. Number 2, we get Incash 4, which is an isolated check off the far side of Aegon. And in my personal experience, if you isolate Incash 4, you're in for a really bad time. Isolating Incash 4, if you leave it alone, it's got something major for you. But if you go for it right away, then it might have nothing on it. But JhavA's completed over in Great Temple and the Temple grounds. Trying to take a peek at Mining Plaza. That could be an E-Tank, but can't get confirmation on it. Meanwhile, Incash 4 hiding a Dark Ammo expansion. I mean, that's good. Ammo is always great, especially since we just found Dark Beam, so we'll take as much as we can get. So I would say that JhavA going right for Temple Grounds of Great Temple paid off tremendously. Finding Annihilator Beam, especially for portals, to get Dark World and Light World. We're going to come across Dark Beam here momentarily from Transport Center, so we'll find that in the next about 5 or 6 minutes. So that'll set up labs quite nicely. Granted, we don't have Light Beam, so we can't do anything on Sand Canyons or Vent Area A side yet. So we will have to leave those locations behind. But everything else is practically open to us. Alrighty, so with that being said, both runners are continuing through Aegon Wastes. We have a lot of options that we can do thanks to Boost Ball, Spider Ball, Space Jump. We are set to go. We see JhavA doing a small collision trick here. This was we're abusing the standable collision to get this item without using the track. And it's just a missile expansion, but hey, more missiles are always great, especially this early when we don't have as many. Now what we're doing here, there's two different methods, either with the Wasp Hive or without it. With the Wasp Hive is the easier method, so as you don't have to do a bomb jump or instant unmorph. We'll jump on the Hive, jump on the back rock wall, which has just enough slope for us to stand on it. Then we'll jump to the top of that and just quite literally jump at the item on Mining Station A. But it looks like both runners are high-fiving each other, being in the same room, following the same track. JhavA's decided to forgo the Dark Aegon loop first, and we're going to do the Aegon Temple route instead. So we'll see what this pays off. If this contains... If we find super missiles, that'd be pretty nice for JhavA. We go right through Warrior's Walk. Opens up a lot more checks right off the bat, instead of us going through Command Center. Although I would say Command Center is probably going to be the better method. And it looks like going to Temple Grounds first paid off for JhavA, finding the power bombs, as that just instantly destroyed Bomb Guardian, which had a Dark Aegon key on him. Yeah, if you ever manage to get power bombs in areas you're not technically supposed to, yeah, because power bombs are one of the last items you ever obtain, it does a heck of a number of things to various bosses and enemies. Most notably, Bomb Guardian and Albert the Alpha Splinter by just vaporizing the entire fight. So now, unfortunately, due to no Amber Translator, we gotta leave this hint behind, but we'll see what's here on the energy controller. Just a missile expansion, but that's okay. We'll take as much ammunition as we can get. And now both runners are going to continue through Aegon Wastes. If I had to take a guess, I would say Lenophis most likely, based on the current equipment, especially with Dark Beam. We'll be checking Mineshaft here, which is right where he's going for. And then we'll go right into Command Center, which will lead right into the Aegon loop. Just a missile expansion. We're not going to waste our time getting it. We've got 20, so we're good for now. If the expansion isn't right along our path, we don't want to waste time. JhavA, meanwhile, has decided to go for the Dark Aegon loop. This will help us out, as we'll get that Dark Aegon key off a Crossroad, and we'll get the Dark Beam off a Transport Center momentarily. And this will in turn lead to Jump Guardian, the STK on Junction Site, and then we'll continue into labs once we're done here in Dark Aegon, which is what Lenophis is going straight for. Now this is a good route. There's a lot we can do in Command Center, or in Aegon Labs, I should say, not just Command Center. But having Dark Beam here tremendously speeds up everything, as we don't have to isolate as many checks. The only thing we're really going to be leaving behind here will be Storage C, due to the lack of super missiles. So hopefully this doesn't have anything useful on it and we don't have to come back. But JhavA with Paul doing the same thing Lenophis did and skipping a majority of this sand puzzle here over in Portal Terminal. Long story short, with Portal Terminal, you're expected to go around the entirety of the room, destroy 3 sand blocks to lower 3 lenses, which in turn beams the sunlight onto the portal to activate it. The game scripts only check for the 3rd sand block, so if you're able to destroy the 3rd block of the puzzle, it'll automatically trigger the cutscene that we need and activate the portal. And thankfully, a slope jump into space jump does just that. We have just enough height. Alrighty, with that being said, JhavA's going right into Crossroad. We're going to peer up. We're going to see that red key. And we have a question posed. Did Leno miss items or en route to them? No, Leno did not miss items. Leno went for different routes. Roughly 5 minutes in, Lenophis decided to go straight for Industrial Site into Aegon Waste's elevator. JhavA, meanwhile, went into Temple Grounds and continued into Compound. That's why JhavA has Dark Suit and Power Bombs. Those 2 items are located in Temple Grounds. Unfortunately, Lenophis did not go that far into the temple, to locate them. You went straight for Aegon Wastes. Alright, now JhavA's back in the light Aegon. We're going to get this item here, which thankfully happens to be Dark Beam. We can use this to route right into the portal. And granted, we had Annihilator Beam, so we can just get the portal regardless. But Dark Beam's always wonderful to have. In my opinion, Dark Beam's like the best beam for echoes. It just has so much utility uses. Alright. Now, does bioenergy have anything of use to us? Or are we going to turn around? Nope, I guess not. Bioenergy is not important. But now JhavA's got the first key to the Dark Aegon Temple. We are missing one. We don't know where that third one is. Hopefully we stumble across it. Worms might be required. It might be bait. But seeing how we have 2 keys right off the bat, I wouldn't mind seeing the Morbus play out this early. That'd be pretty nice. Plus, it gets out a check out of the way. That, and if Mining Plaza was anything of use, then we'd be able to get Mining Plaza. Well, at least JhavA would be, thanks to Echo Visor. And Echo Visor was off a compound. But thanks to Boost Ball, we can get sand processing without any tricks. So we're going to go do sand processing right now. Does this half-pipe item have anything hidden behind the sand? Or does this just have more sand beneath the original sand? And JhavA, don't destroy the Lightbringer. No, you destroyed the Lightbringer! We've discussed this before. You do not destroy the Lightbringer. They are there to help you. They are not in your way. Just go around them. Oh, JhavA, that's minus 10 points. Alright, Lenophis is fighting Dark Samus 1, the main big boss of the Aegon region, outside of a Morbus. Unfortunately, we do not have any quick kill methods. We don't have Screw Attack, no Annihilator Beam, no double damage, no super missiles, and no power bombs. So unfortunately, we do have to do this fight normal. But we do see Lenophis pulling off a modified stun lock here. What we're doing is every time we fire a missile at Dark Samus, that forces her to raise her Phazon shield. That's that big old blue shield surrounding her. Now, whenever that shield goes down, there's a few frame window where damage could be inputted. And Lenophis is using that to his advantage by keeping Dark Samus in a general stunned motion. That way we can input more damage without her flying up and doing her super missile attack. Or going up and doing her charged attack at us. Regardless, the fight is over. There goes Dark Samus. Now it's time to see what's on Storage D. Storage B, unfortunately, did not have anything. And yes, I agree, chat. Dark Samus is a lot better when you have power bombs. I can't count the amount of times I've lost. Oh, by the way, speaking of power bombs, you're absolutely right. It was an expansion on Albert. The main power bombs are on Dark Samus 1. Which is not nice because you're finding the weapon that you need to defeat Dark Samus easily after doing the fight. And Dark Oasis has a missile related. Oh, there's a very slim chance that could be Seekers. Although I highly doubt it. Alright, so just grab the trick once again. Oh, we've got Light Beam. Look at that. We have a Light Beam on main research. That is not main research. That is main reactor. I apologize. So that's locked behind the Dark Samus fight as well. So Lenophis coming out quite nicely from this fight, fighting both Light Beam and main power bombs. Meanwhile, JhavA's just destroyed the floor with Jump Guardian. So instead, we're going to have Lenophis go right to Doomed Entry and take care of the Dark Labs loop. Unfortunately, we will be isolating 2 checks here. One is Dark Oasis, which we can't access until Power Bomb Guardian's defeated. And number 2 is Incash 2, which is Annihilator locked. And it looks like there's another STK right there on Doomed Entry. Alrighty, so Jump Guardian. For those of you who might not be aware of what happened with that trick, why did Jump Guardian start with such little health? Well, in short, the hitbox is spawned in the first time you enter Judgment Pit. That hitbox is always there. You just can't see it, it's invisible. Yep, and there's our grapple beam. That's going to help us if we go over to Wind Chamber Gateway later. So with Jump Guardian, if you manage to jump up top, which can be done either with space jump or bombs, usually it's done with bombs since you have bombs before the fight, we could just shoot the hitbox, lower it down to 1 health point, and then start the cutscene fight by entering the safe zone. That starts Jump Guardian with 1 health hit point. We can fire a bit of lemons at it, and the fight's over. Personally, if you decide to learn Echo's tricks, I highly recommend learning Jump Guardian Skip. It's a very simple trick to do, and it helps you learn a bit of bomb jump movement. All right, back to the main event. Lenophis is over in Battlegrounds. Nothing important there, and we can't check the ink cache on it, so we're going to keep on moving. On the other hand, JhavA's decided to go back into Light Aegon after defeating Jump Guardian, and we're going around. We're going right around to Mineshaft. Oh no, it's just a missile expansion, so that's okay. We're going to keep on moving. Well, we got a question in chat again. Let's see. Does main PBs give logic knowledge if mains aren't required? Ooh, somebody more would have. I have to double check the Randomizer preset on it. If mains are not required, main PBs would give you the logic, yes. The logic knowledge is based on the main item. Okay, so the expansions we really don't focus on. The expansions are nice, but Randomizer checks for the main item of that set. So with power bombs, for example, yes, we found the expansion off of communications area, but logically we would have had to come here to Dark Samus to get our main power bomb logic chain started. Yep, and there's another power bomb expansion right off of ventilation area A. That'll get us another cheeseburger for us to use, and Lenophis is able to check Spider's treasure, which is a good play thanks to us finding Light Beam. All right, so Spider's Treasure. You might be asking, well, what is Spider's Treasure? I haven't heard of that room. Well, Spider's Treasure isn't a room. More so, it's a collection of rooms off of the Aegon Spider site elevator, which is the one Lenophis just took. Now, this is three item checks. Number 1, Hall of Combat Mastery, which we'll be seeing first. Number 2 was Hazing Cliff, and then number 3 will be Culling Chamber. These are all 3 different items that we consider Spider's Treasure, since they're right off of the Spider side elevator for Aegon. Alrighty, now JhavA appears to be going right for Dark Samus 1. If you pay attention to your right screen, folks, you're going to see power bombs being used against Dark Samus, and this is how. Where is she? Gotta keep on rolling, keep moving. You're almost there. Oh, there she is. Oh no, she just went past. Well, there she is again. And he gets a first try after that wonderful merry-go-round style chase. But yes, power bombs against Dark Samus just instantly end the fight if you hit them properly. If Dark Samus, for whatever reason, moves out of the power bomb, then the fight will still continue. And Lenophis is running really low on health here. We're only just above 1 E-Tank. So we do need a bit more health to farm before we can get the item here. Meanwhile, JhavA's going through the spider puzzle in order to get the item off of reactor core or main reactor. Oh, Echoes has so many rooms with the same name in it. I'm sorry. But if I mess up, call me out on it. Unlimited missiles. I wasn't sure about that, but I wanted to let somebody else saw it before I could. I wasn't too sure on it, but yeah, that's a big old unlimited missiles. You're absolutely right. That's a great location for them because we can get them right away. And having unlimited missiles is going to be huge against the Quadraxis fight later on. Granted, we don't really use missiles against the fight. Light beam is the preferred method. But it'll depend. It all depends. Missiles are great to have. And that dark suit would do Lenophis some quite good wonders if we had it right now. Unfortunately, that's all the way back in Dynamo Chamber. Alright, Hall of Combat Mastery doesn't appear to be anything useful, but Lenophis has to be real careful riding on 20 health right now. One bad move from these quads, and that's going to lead to a game over. And unfortunately, I don't believe Lenophis has saved yet. If we did, the earliest save point would have been right before the Dark Samus 1 fight. There we go. Alright, we got a golden energy drop. We're all good to go. Hive Dynamo Works contains a life support system. Oh, that's either a suit or an E-Tank. It very well could be a suit. Hopefully it's not light suit, but you never know when it comes to Randomania. This game gives off some very bad information half the time. Alright, so JhavA, meanwhile, is also going through Spider's Treasure. We see the unlimited missiles, and thanks to Dark Suit, we don't have to worry about our health. 2 E-Tanks, more than enough to get this. And here we see Lenophis doing the main gyro chamber puzzle, and since we are on new patcher for Randomania, this puzzle is randomized. There's countless possibilities that this puzzle could be, and there's an extremely rare chance that this puzzle could be instantly solved. Whereas when you activate the bomb slot, the puzzle's solved, and it instantly spawns lifts the next bomb slot to finish the ring. I've never seen it happen before. It's an extremely rare percentage, but that would be nice to see one day. Now we're going for the second ring of the main gyro chamber. Unfortunately, we do not have Annihilator nor Echo. JhavA does, so JhavA, if he wants to, can get the item here on main gyro chamber. This all depends if JhavA continues into Sanctuary. I would say go for it. You have Spider Ball, you got Boost Ball, Power Bombs. You've got, with JhavA having Annihilator Beam, that helps tremendously. I would say continue through Sanctuary. That's got a lot of checks you can pull off and get some... And you know there's a translator off of main research here in Sank. So if that translator happens to be Cobalt, you could start following some key logic, some Cobalt logic. And JhavA pulls off a great first attempt here at Sanctuary Temple access to get this Sky Temple key. Looks like JhavA's deciding to go back into Aegon and continue into Dark Aegon. If JhavA wants to do Airy, correct. There is nothing stopping from JhavA to do Airy. That is a possible check right now. Although, actually, no, I gotta take that back. No. Airy requires Dark Visor due to the second phase of the Dark Samus fight. She does turn invisible, so the logic chain would require us to have Dark Visor. Now, you can do the fight without having Dark Visor. It's just extremely difficult as you can't see Dark Samus at all, and you've got to try to guess where she is. Is the fight possible? Yes. Is it recommended? No. At least I wouldn't recommend it. And here we see the wonderful words of O'Lear. Here are the words of O'Lear, last sentinel of the Fortress Temple. And O'Lear gives us double energy. We have an energy tank off of the item, and an energy refill by talking to O'Lear himself. Now we're gonna see two route differences again. JhavA's deciding to go through Aegon, possibly taking a save warp to go through Temple Grounds and clear out maybe Wind Chamber Gateway, maybe do some echo checks. Nope, looks like we're going for Dark Labs. Probably going for Backwards Labs first, which we're going for thanks to Dark Beam. And then we'll go into Dark Aegon and do some cleanup there for an SDK. Meanwhile, for Lenophis, what you just saw earlier was was known as a triple bomb space jump. Now we used that to get into what we did. We did a triple bomb jump against a piece of collision. Now, because collision is blocking us, if we were to morph at the same time, we get what's known as an instant morph, or in this case, an instant unmorph. Now, because it's so instant, there's a few frame window where we're able to input a space jump. So we do that triple bomb jump against that back wall, get the instant unmorph, and space jump into the opening for that little pipe to get us down into the Sky Temple key. And thanks to Boost Ball, we can just exit without needing to do anything else. Alrighty, so JhavA's still going through Aegon Labs backwards. We're going to come across storage B and find that it has another E tank for us. B has an E. Lenophis continuing through Sanctuary. We're going for lower Sank now. Going through Cat West. Does Cat West have anything? Cat West has some light ammo. It will certainly take light ammo. Now we're coming up to main research. What translator is hiding up here today? Although these quads are going to get in our way, we don't want... No, you got blocked by the rolling piston. Alright, we got to wait a little bit. But now we're going to continue into main research. We got to... Oh, it's Emerald Translator. And yeah, I told you these quads are going to be a pain sometimes. These quads like to fire their laser beams at you and knock you off this spider platform. It's recommended to destroy the quads, but if you move fast enough, then the lasers won't hit you. You just gotta be moving pretty fast for it. Alrighty, so that's Emerald Translator. That's going to be good to know for when we get to Torvus. As in our experience, Lower Torvus has had so many great Emerald hints. They've been game changer this tournament. And there's a grapple beam for JhavA off of Incash. I want to say it's Incash 3. But regardless, we're going to keep on moving. Lenophis doing another trick here, another triple bomb space jump. This time we're doing the trick to bypass the light and dark portal puzzle so that we can just get the item without having to go anywhere near the dark world. Now we're doing all this for another STK, so we have one key here in Transit Station. While JhavA gets the key off a doomed entry. Oh, JhavA's still attempting it. Does not have the height that he needs in order to get there. But the hardest part about this is trying to get that instant unmorph into the space jump. And unfortunately, there's just not enough height with these bomb jumps. It's possible, yes, but your bomb jumps have to be spread out so perfectly to just push you out there. Ah, big old question mark from Lenophis just then, wondering, hey, why can't I get up there? If we had Screw Attack, this would be over in a few seconds for this room. Unfortunately, we don't have Screw Attack, so either Lenophis has to do this puzzle normally, or nope, he's got it. He's finally got it. He got the height needed for the bomb jumps. And there's that STK. Great job, Lenophis. And it looks like JhavA's done in Dark Aegon. It's going right back to Temple Grounds. Possibly going, I would recommend going for Torvus at this point. You didn't clear out any of Sank really, but Torvus does have a lot open. Granted, we don't have super missiles, so that would be a hindrance. But I would still say Torvus does have some good options at this moment. Although we could check out some Sky Temple Grounds information. We can check out. We can get what do you call it? Plane of Dark Worship, Pod W, that's an open check. We can get Phazon Grounds, we can get Profane Path. We get some good checks here in Temple Grounds that we can clean up. Oh, that's actually huge information. That's Amber Translator off of DMT. Okay, so now JhavA can go back to Aegon and get all those Amber hints that we've been skipping. Although that is a really terrible location. Yeah, defeat Bomb Guardian just to go defeat DMT, just to get your Amber Translator. But by the time you do that, you probably already cleared Aegon. So now it's a matter of, do you route in Aegon to get some information? I would say yes. Yeah, I would route Aegon into maybe a Sank play to go to Lower Torvus, or maybe route in Aegon after some cleanup here. Follow the translator information, because we really want to find Screw Attack, Gravity Boost, Super Missiles. If a couple Marie tanks wouldn't hurt, Dark Visor especially, that'd be great to have. Well, there's a lot of majors still left that can be hinted, as well as key information for Quadraxis. Although not required, it'd be good to know where the region is for them. And the reason we do that is if we come across a key and we can't scan it, we can make a predicted guess on what key it is. But first things first, we're going to go over to we're going to go check a Cursed Lake. If JhavA, no, we can't do a Cursed Lake. We don't have Seekers nor Screw Attack, so scratch that. We are going to go to Pod W, though, Plane of Dark Worship. All right, now, Plane of Dark Worship has today, it looks like just an ETM, a big old shiny ball of blue energy. Unfortunately, an ETM is not what we're looking for, so we are just going to leave that behind. So I apologize, folks, but we are not going to be validated today. And Lenophis is going right for DMT, going for Dark Missile Trooper. Again, this is a mini-boss that can only be spawned after Bomb Guardian has been defeated. Use Power Bombs, and there's your Amber Translator. So Lenophis did the same thing JhavA did, except Lenophis went through Sanctuary first, which in turn got Lenophis one extra Sky Temple key and some information on Sanctuary hints, as well as Emerald. Oh, the Dark Alpha Splinter's real name is ETM Guardian. You know what? You are absolutely correct. ETM Guardian is a fair name for that Dark Alpha Splinter. But it looks like JhavA's going for Hall of Honor Dead through Transport C access. Most likely going for Torvus Lagoon. So we may be seeing a Torvus play as previously mentioned. But first, we're going to go to Meeting Grounds, get the Violet hint, and then continue into Hall of Honor to get that check out of the way. Now, you might be wondering, well, we can't really do anything in Hall of Honor. We don't have Seekers to get out. Well, fear not, for there is a method to get out. There is another instant morph we can do through a bomb jump. Oh, that's good information. Phazon Grounds has the super missiles. Well, we're not going to Torvus Lagoon yet. Let's just go get those supers. Now Lenophis is going through their first loop in Lake Temple Grounds. That's where Communications Area, Compound, all them others are. That gets Lenophis their Dark Suit, followed by a Power Bomb expansion. Now, keep in mind, that's the first one JhavA found when going through Temple Grounds. That's how he was able to defeat Dark Samus and Alpha Splinter so easily. And there's the information for Reliquary, which has a key. Now, we don't know what key that is yet, and unfortunately, we don't have a method to get it right now. But JhavA's using the information he found off of Transport C access and is routing that right into Phazon Grounds. Now, the reason we're doing that is because we just got the information about super missiles being on Phazon, and super missiles are one of the biggest game-breaking items out there. Oh, And JhavA's going to stumble right into their... Oh dear, I sincerely apologize about that, folks. It seems I had some technical difficulties on my end. Don't worry, that wasn't a SpeedGaming thing. It's just that Marion's system had a minor technical fault. So sorry about the awkward silence just then. But fear not, we're back and ready to rock and roll, hopefully. So let's pick up where we last left off. As far as we can remember, JhavA, Lenophis picked up their screw attack off of GFMC's ship item, which is spawned after Jump Guardian. Meanwhile, JhavA has gone to Phazon grounds to get their super missiles first. Remember, we got that information off of Meeting Grounds from a Violet Tit. It doesn't appear anything else has changed since then, so lucky me. Let's keep everything rocking and rolling, shall we? Alright, Power Bomb expansion off of Albert the Alpha Splinter, or the ETM Guardian, as we're now calling him. I like that name. Now, the reason Lenophis has skipped Phazon grounds, Leno does not have the information that JhavA has. There's a Violet translator hint off of Meeting Grounds, which gave JhavA the knowledge that supers are on Phazon grounds. JhavA has the information. Oh, if Lenophis went to Phazon grounds, I'll have to recheck the VOD on it. But if Leno did go there, then it's possible he could have hot dogged what that item was. But most likely, I believe Leno has not gone to Phazon grounds just yet. I don't believe so. He might be waiting. Don't quote me on it. I have to double check. But JhavA did pick up the super missiles as he was there. I will get that confirmation for you shortly. If I can pull up the nope, I don't have access to it. But most likely if Leno did go there, it's possible that he missaw what the item was. But no, it looks like Lenophis is going to Phase on grounds right now, though. So it's possible that this is the first entry. Defiled Shrine has a missile-related upgrade. That is a dead check. It cannot be Seekers. Seeker Launcher is required to get into Defiled Shrine. But we are going to get another double check on what this item here in Profane Path. And Profane Path has unlimited beam ammo. Oh, that's going to be really nice to have. Oh boy, and it seems I lost all of my notes in here. So that's going to be fun, but that's okay. We've got the chat to help us along. Now I wouldn't say it's a GG quite yet, although that is a terrible, terrible hot dog to skip out on super missiles. Leno was in the proper section. Unfortunately, did not pick up super missiles. That's going to cost Lenophis greatly. And yes, hello, KR. I see you down there. Is it a baby seed? No, not really. We've got a required Quadraxis, so not quite airy, but still required quad nonetheless. And there's Lenophis getting the information for supers on Phazon grounds. He could not be happy about that. Yes, Lenophis got heavily saved by that hint. And now he checked Hall of Honor dead. Hall of Honor does not have anything useful for us today, so we're just going to leave it behind and keep on moving forward. And once again, oh no, the Defiled Train had a beam-related upgrade on it, not a missile-related. Yeah, regardless, it's nothing of importance. We already have all the beam-related upgrades that we need. But I would sell, even though Lenophis does have the 5 SDKs, JhavA does have a bit more equipment and is going through Torvis right now. So that will help put JhavA ahead, as Lenophis does have to go back to Phazon grounds to go get super missiles. But nope, we're just going to keep on moving through. Looks like we've got an energy tank off of Forgotten Bridge. That's always useful. It's always good to have more energy. And thanks to that Amber Translator, we get some Amber hints. First off, telling us where the main power bombs are. Thanks, game. We already found those. Now, Lenophis most likely using this to either A, if he's comfortable with it, he could use the go for underground tunnel by taking the elevator here off a portal terminal. Granted, that requires 2 seekerless door skips. And there's a light beam hint. Thanks, game. We already found light beam. Cheeseburger in sand cache. Not going to waste our time getting that. We've got plenty more to go around. But it doesn't look like Lenophis has gone back for supers yet. They've decided to leave those behind. So hopefully we get those later. Here we see another red key, which happens to be on our second Chica key. That's a vanilla key location. And by vanilla, we mean it's in the it's in the actual copy of the game. It's not done through Randomizer. That's its original location. Oh, as far as runner's agreements, multiplayer items have been included, and the industrial site translator gate has been set to unlocked from Violet. Usually it's Violet. Today it was set to unlocked. So pretty standard runner's agreements, nothing too crazy. But don't worry, we got some crazy runner's agreements coming up in a few hours. If I'm correct, we do have a wild door lock rando coming up soon. And that, my friends, is going to be one heck of a race. But don't worry, right now we're going to continue with the one that we have right here. Lenophis decided to go back to Sanctuary from Aegon. Well, that was a good routing choice. You know, using the Amber translator to get the information from the Amber hints, and then use that to route into Sanctuary, where you're able to get even more help thanks to your Annihilator and recently acquired Echo Visor. So this will help Lenophis out tremendously through routing. But first step, we are going to go to Hive Gyro Chamber, and we may be seeing a Quadraxis fight. It's possible we have all the equipment we need for Quad. It depends if Lenophis decides to go for it now, even though we've only got 3 E-Tanks. And yes, Lenophis is still missing super missiles. He has not gone back for them. Now keep in mind, supers are off of Phazon grounds. And KR, I think I know exactly which one you're talking about. Okay, well, now it's even more probable for a Quadraxis fight. We have a light suit on Hive Gyro Chamber. Very interesting location. You know, if Lenophis goes for Sanctuary Gate Skip, we could be seeing Quadraxis here, folks. It depends on what Lenophis chooses to do. Yes, indeed, we do have a confirmed quad fight. We are going for Gate Skip. So Lenophis is going to use a triple bomb jump into an instant unmorph, and then we'll screw attack over the gate. It is time to fight the quad. Alrighty, excuse me. With Lenophis fighting Quadraxis for his 6th Sky Temple key, JhavA will be going through Torvus in hunt of more equipment. We are still looking for Seekers in order to get our Sky Temple key hints, as well as Dark Visor. Dark Visor we don't know is required or not. We still are missing that information, so we're going to keep on looking. But unfortunately, with Emerald Translator in Sanctuary, JhavA will not be able to get any translator information. But we will get a gravity boost here on Torvus Energy. So that'll help tremendously with lower Torvus. Alrighty, with the unfortunately no, we do not have key hints yet. We are missing Seekers in order to get our Sky Temple keys. Without Seekers, there's nothing we can do. Now, there is a small possibility if these runners know how to do seekerless seeker door skips, then they could go for them early. It's just that we've yet to see that. Alright, so phase 2 of Quadraxis, nothing too special. We're going to be screw attacking or firing light beam at this central receiving tower. This will stun the Quadraxis head, where we're able to destroy its 3 receiving beacons. And yes, to add on to your STK hints, we do need supers. Supers are hard required. And unfortunately, Lenophis has hot dogged them in phase-on grounds. He does know that they're there. He just hasn't gone back for them. Alright, meanwhile, JhavA continuing through lower Torbus, still in hunt of those seeker missiles wherever they could be, while Lenophis continues along the Quadraxis fight. Oh, and he almost flew right over the head module. He saved it just in time. And unfortunately, JhavA does not have seekers. Nice attempt, though, at the door. Now we're going to go around. And Lenophis, is he going to get it in time? He did. Oh, look at that. He got a hole-in-one for the end of the quad fight, right into the head module. That'll get him a 6th Sky Temple key. We have 3 keys remaining. And unfortunately, I have lost all of my notes for this race, so if anyone has the previous 5 STKs, that would be wonderful. Oh, and it looks like we're returning the energy, so Lenophis is possibly going for a Tumos check. Tumos isn't terrible. You know, you have the, you've got access to it. You might as well check it, you know. With how this game's going, it's entirely possible that Tumos has the STK. There's 3 of them left. Where could they be? Well, we've got like 100, we've got like 50 more checks to do. So, there's a good possibility Tumos has something. So the biggest route difference is it looks like going to Sanctuary helped Lenophis by getting some STKs before JhavA. JhavA's still continuing into Torbus Bog, getting some information on the key bear here for Dungeon. Dungeon has a HUD system. Oh boy. Yeah, we know that's required. Oh, if I'm correct, that the only HUD system we're still missing, that would be Dark Visor. So if that is true, if Dark Visor is required, we have to come to Hive Gyro first. Oh, Cobalt, that's fair. Cobalt is also a HUD system. It's specified under both translator and HUD. If Cobalt is also required, who knows? Oh boy, a red key and... You're right, it can't be Dark Visor. What am I saying? That's an ink cache. I need Dark Visor to see the ink cache. The only possibility of that being Dark Visor is if Dark Visor got deleted. I really need to learn to think before I talk. Would you look at that? I'm getting called out by chat every time I come into this commentary booth. And it can't lock itself. I've really got to reread these presets. Oh boy. Man, I am really forgetful on everything today. Don't worry, it's always good, you know, trial by error. And hello, chat, I see you down there. Dark Suit was located off of Dynamo Chamber. Our first suit was located in Temple Ground Dynamo Chamber. Light suit was on Hive Gyro Chamber. And super missiles, brah, were located off of Phazon grounds, with a hint for them in Meeting Ground. Unfortunately, Lenophis has hot dogged that. Lenophis has the knowledge of supers in Phazon grounds. He just has not gone back to get them. And there's the Emerald Translator off of... There's the Emerald Translator off of Main Research. We knew about that from the Transport to Aegon hint. But first we're going to check Warriors. We're going to go ahead and check Sentinel's path. Find another energy tank hiding here. And then we're going to keep on moving. Now, Lenophis is going to go back and say hello to everybody's favorite Guardian, O'Lear. We're going to return the Sanctuary energy, and most likely Lenophis is saving supers for a Tumos check. This way we can save warp, check the Tumos item, and then immediately go back to Phazon grounds to get those supers. This in turn opens up the light transport system, so if we want to go flying around to all three different locations, then we've got easy access to it. And hello, Aaron. Unfortunately, we are not in week 2. I'm sorry, we are in week 6. Sorry about that. But it's nice to see you, Aaron. It's always a pleasure having you here. For those of you just joining us, hello and welcome to a continuation of our Echoes tournament. We are currently in week 6 with Lenophis versus JhavA. Week 6 we classify as item loss skip. And what that means is we start with a variety of items that the game usually gives us upon a new file creation, where we lose them pretty much right away due to a cutscene in Hive Chamber B. We are starting with Missile Launcher, Boost Ball, Spider Ball, and Space Jump Boots, as well as something else. I've got it written down here somewhere. Hold on. But regardless, we start with a good chunk of equipment, and that in turn helps us with a ton of early checks. And for some reason, somebody threw a red key. They threw the last Dark Aegon key in Main Gyro Chamber. Now, who in their right mind put a red key inside of that big old electrical gyro? That's not a very nice place to keep it. It's a very secured place, but it's not nice, because if a Morbus is required, then we'd have to come all the way back here just to go to Aegon. But there's that 4th key for JhavA off the Transit Station and Sanctuary. We're going to continue along. Lenophis is going to take a save warp here. This in turn will get us to get to Phazon grounds, followed by a Tumos check. And yes, Krar, I'm aware that you'd like Airy. It's a possibility. It's a probability. We have 3 Sky Temple keys remaining. We do not know their location. So out of the multiple checks left, it's entirely possible Airy could be one of them. So with Lenophis going to go check Phazon grounds or Tumos, it's entirely possible we're going to see a Sky Temple key check momentarily. So with that, I would love to hear y'all's recommendations. Where do you think the last 3 temple keys are? I'd love to hear everybody's thoughts on that. Personally, I'm going to throw the keys. I would throw 1 on Alpha Blog. I'd probably throw key 2 on... Oh, where would I put key 2? Probably put key 2 on Hive Entrance. And then key 3, let's say, is... forget. Why not? Let's put key 3 on Airy. Who doesn't like a good Airy fight? And to answer chat, Light Beam was found on main reactor. That was found on the Spider Trek item after defeating Dark Samus 1. Meanwhile, JhavA's going through Lower Torvus after going through Sanctuary, doing statue skip. Oh, Seeker Launcher is 2 rooms away from Dark Torvus Key 2. If we remember where Oh no. Oh, that could be bad. I got a good feeling what that is. I'm just going to point this out real quick. Dark Torvus Key 2 was found on Venomous Pond. There are exactly 2 locations which could have Seeker missiles. Number 1 is Poison Bog, which is locked behind Light Suit and Dark Visor. Or number 2, it's locked on Chica itself, locked behind the 3 Chica keys, one of which is unknown. And to answer chat's question, unlimited beam ammo was located on War Ritual. Was it? No, it was not on War Ritual grounds. We can't access that. It was on Profane Path. Profane Path, that's the correct one. And the keys to Dark Torvus are in Dark Aegon and Dark Torvus. Lenophis has finally found the super missiles after waiting so long to go get them. So we know all the Dark Torvus keys are either in Dark Aegon or Dark Torvus. It's a matter of where exactly, which room are they in. So we got a long race ahead of us, folks. Especially since we're looking for those Seeker missiles. Now, to reiterate, Seeker missiles have the possibility to not be required. Logically, they are. And, okay, Cobalt in Dungeons. Okay, that's wonderful game, thanks. Well, I don't think we're ever going to get Dungeon, so we're going to leave that there. Alright, but first we are going to see Tumos, though. So, hey, we haven't seen a Tumos check in a while here on this tournament. So, does this have anything of use to us? Outside of the light transport system, that is. You know, going around each region is extremely useful. But the check... Oh my gosh! No! Game! Really? That's a double required quadraxis. You need quad for the STK on quad, but you also need the energy so that you can get the key off of Tumos. Well, KRR, I hope you're happy. You got a double required quad instead of an airy. And here's a red key off of... Oh, there's the last Chica key. Alright, so the last Chica key is off of Powerbomb Guardian Screw Attack Wall. And there was one Dark Torvus key in Aegon. I believe that was Trial Tunnel. That was a really good pun, though. That was a weird pun, but that was really good. So nice work on it. All right, Chad. Here's the current standing. It's time for your 1 hour rundown. Granted, it's 10 minutes late, but hey, stuff happens. All right, for your 1 hour rundown, here's the current standings of today's race. On the left side with Lenophis, We've just picked up super missiles and delivered went to go. Bleh. We've delivered the energy back to the sanctuary temple. That unlocks Temple. No, Sync Energy Control. What am I saying? That unlocked Tumos, or the light suit check. That check gave us a Sky Temple key, and Lenophis used that warp to go into Torvus for the first time. Now, thanks to Emerald, we're able to get all these wonderful hints, telling us a major upgrade is in Fortress Transport Access. That is most likely Dark Visor. Now, at the current standing, Lenophis is searching for Seekers in order to get Sky Temple key hints, or if we stumble across the key hints just through general travel. On the right side, JhavA's riding shy with just 4 STKs compared to Lenophis' 7. Now, we know for a fact 2 of them are Quadraxis and Tumos. There's 1 STK that Lenophis has that JhavA doesn't. Unfortunately, I couldn't tell you that. I've lost all my information on notes here today. But regardless, JhavA does have the knowledge of the rough region of Seeker missiles. Now, there is information that there's a missile related on Poison Bog. That very well could be the Seekers that we're looking for. Now, it's entirely possible that Chica has the Seekers, or Poison Bog has it. So regardless, these runners will have to get Dark Visor, or they will need... Regardless, these runners have to get Dark Visor, unless they fight Chica without Dark Visor, and then climb up Dark Torvus Temple without it, by using invisible platforms. Which aren't bad, it's just that you better hope you remember where those platforms are, as they can be a bit tricky to locate. And there's our joke hint telling us light suit is fully resistant to dark aether atmosphere. Thank you, game. We've known that for a while now, but it's good to have that helpful reminder. It looks like JhavA's trying to hunt and see where else can I check that would have information that I need. Now, JhavA's really trying to find light suit just based on that Poison Bog hint. But due to JhavA not having light suit, that's going to be troublesome, as light suit is all the way back on Hive Gyro Chamber. So with all this searching, we're just going to keep on moving. Oh, and by the way, it was Dark Visor. Okay, Dark Visor is that major item that we heard of off of FTA. So we know Dark Visor's location. That's great. Here's the good part about this. Lenophis is fully able to go check Poison Bog and see if that has Seekers. The problem is that Lenophis doesn't have the information of Poison Bog. Yeah, he doesn't have the translator hint to tell him Seekers are within that region. So, with that being said, it's entirely possible Lenophis might just go straight back to Torvus and start checking Dark Visor checks regardless. We did get the key bearer information that Poison Bog had a missile-related upgrade. So it's a matter if Lenophis plays off of that, or if he's just going to search Torvus and hope to stumble across that translator hint. But with 3 keys in hand, it is time for Chica. Over on the right side of your screen, it looks like JhavA is going to fight Chica without Dark Visor. That's exactly what he's doing. All right, there's some information for Lenophis on the Emerald Hint. I didn't read that in time. I'm sorry, I couldn't get to that fast enough. But JhavA's fighting the wonderful Chica. Unfortunately, we don't really have Cannonball to make this fight faster, so we're gonna have to fight the adult normally. I don't know, we're just taking this time to listen to the wonderful Echo's music and soundtracks. Now, the only reason we're fighting Chica is to get confirmation on what Poison Bog is. If Chica has Seeker Missiles, then we know we don't need Poison Bog. If Chica does not have Seekers, that is confirmation to JhavA that he needs to go find Light Suit and Dark Visor before being able to get Seekers. And it looks like the first phase of this fight is over. It's now time for Chica Adult. Unfortunately, we do not have any real way to speed this fight up. We are just going to spam our Annihilator Beam to stun Chica, and then use missiles on the wings to destroy them. Unfortunately, we will have to do this a handful of times. Due to the lack of Seekers, we cannot lock onto multiple targets at once, so we do have to do each wing individually. Meanwhile, Lenophis continuing through Torvus Bog, as aforementioned. Now, we did say Lenophis might go to Torvus, but it looks like we do have that confirmation using the two most warp to come back here. Now, Lenophis really right now is just searching for Seeker Missiles and the two remaining STKs. There is no knowledge on where those keys can be, so either we're going to stumble into them, or Lenophis is going to stumble into not Dark Visor. They're going to stumble into Seeker Missiles, and in turn use that to get the location for the remaining two keys. So this race, we're going to see we're definitely seeing a sub 2 hour, possibly a 140, possibly a 140, 145-ish at most, depending on how fast both these runners move. But JhavA still has to do Tumos and Quadraxis. And get Light Suit and Dark Visor, most likely. Again, those last two are all dependent on Chica's item. So we just have to wait and see. All right, Chad, I do want to hear your recommendations, though. What do you got to help me out? What's here on Chica? Is it going to be the Seekers, or is it going to be another useless item? Or is it going to be one of the two remaining STKs? Which would make two bosses hard required. As we are running out of checks in this game, and we're running out fast. And on the left side of your screen, Lenophis going for Boost Guardian Skip. Can we get the insta-kill? Yes, he does. He gets it first try. Fantastic work. All right, JhavA's just defeated. Check out what is the item here? Oh, no, it's a missile! Whichever one of you said missiles on Checa, congratulations, you just won. Oh, and JhavA's taking the save warp out. Does not want to try to climb the room without Dark Visor. I don't blame him. But congratulations, congratulations, Du. You just won yourself absolutely nothing. But thank you for playing today's guessing game. And Lenophis in the JhavA in the race time room quote, "Oops." I guess that wasn't a good idea. It was good for the thought, but Lenophis just got the confirmation that Poison Bog does have Seekers. Unfortunately, JhavA's got a long way to go to find them. So I would say pretty solidly, this race is going to go to Lenophis. And Lenophis does not have all 3 Chica keys, so they cannot do this Chica fight, whether they want to or not. That's going to help them out, thanks to Chica only having a missile expansion. Unfortunately, JhavA's got a lot of time to make up. He's got a good few minutes lost due to that Chica fight, and even more of a loss trying to go back to get Light Suit on Hive Gyro Chamber, which is a long way away. All right, but meanwhile, again, we still have 2 key hints left. It's entirely plausible that Lenophis will do a save warp. And yes, Mark, the gamble for Chica was to either get A, Seekers, or B, Dark Visor. Dark Visor was the preferred item. Unfortunately, it was not. But Lenophis pulled off a wonderful bomb. What am I saying? Boost Guardian. Skip. Thanks for that power bomb. All right, but nope. Lenophis going right for the Sky Temple key hints. We're getting key hints at 125. Pretty late for key hints, but with how this seed's been treating us today, hey, we'll take what we can get. There are 2 keys remaining. We do not know their location, and we have a lot of checks left to do that could hide them. It's possible that Amorbus has it. It's possible that Airy has it. War Ritual Grounds here could have it. We've seen that happen a few times. And is that a key? That's either a key or an ETM. I can't decide between the two. It did look like a key, though. Oh no! And we've got a restream error. We just lost Lenophis's restream signal. Oh, that's not good. We're gonna go ahead and ping for some help on this. Nope, there we go. Never mind. Sacrificial Chamber, so one's on Grapple Guardian. And yeah, in Reliquary, of course. Alrighty, so with that being said, we've got Lenophis has a pretty straightforward route. Thanks to that safety save over in Dark Torvus before doing the warp to start. This will route Lenophis in quite well to go to lower Dark Torvus. We'll do Sacrificial Chamber and defeat Grapple Guardian. Then we'll do a warp to start to get in Reliquary, and then we're just going to go right for Endgame. So Lenophis has a pretty straightforward route. This is a solid GG for him. JhavA, unfortunately, yes, going to Temple Grounds helped in the early game heavily, but due to not going through Sanctuary and spending so much time in Torvus, this is Ash pretty set. Alrighty, so that being said, we're still going to keep on moving, just getting a little bit more information off that Emerald hint. But Lenophis is going right into Lower Torvus. We're going to take a Dark Portal warp here, probably in Gathering Hall, and this will route us right into Grapple Guardian. JhavA, meanwhile, is still on the hunt, trying to find Light Suit, trying to find Dark Visor, trying to find anything to help him out. Yeah, we're doing all we can. Unfortunately, everything's all in sync for what JhavA needs. Sanctuary's got all the wonderful information. And there's the information JhavA needs. A suit in Hive Gyro Chamber. That's going to be the Light Suit, which is required for Poison Bug. And Light Suit is also required in order to get Dark Visor off of FTA. Now, we do have the FTA knowledge. We know it's a major upgrade, and there's not many majors that we're still missing. So JhavA's got to start going to Sanctuary, which we're doing right now, by use of the Lower Torvus elevator in order to route us through to Sanctuary. Route us into Sanctuary's vault side. That's what it's called. Meanwhile, Lenophis using Light Beam and unlimited ammo to just destroy Grapple Guardian. If we had Sunburst, that'd be pretty nice as well. Unfortunately, we don't have Sunburst, so regular Light Beam's gonna have to do. And there's that STK. One key remains off of Aang Reliquary, and then it's time for final bosses. This race is almost over. I will say this has been a pretty nice race so far. You know, these runners were head-to-head for the longest time, but unfortunately, some route differences just cost JhavA in the end. So now the best way to get to in Reliquary, we're going to take a left here at landing site. We're going to use this to go all the way to meeting ground, and we're going to divert meeting ground into Great Temple, and in turn this will take us all. Well, no, we won't do that. We could just take the long way through Windchamber Gateway. Go through Windchamber Gateway, turn around for Sacred Path, and then we'll use the portal there to go for in Reliquary. And the best part about that is we needed Seekers to even get into in Reliquary. Unless we did this door skip, which is a bit difficult. But meanwhile, JhavA has gone over to Mini Gyro Chamber. We finally reached access into Sanctuary. And we're going to be continuing forward. Well, there's not much else to say, really. Yeah, Lenophis is all set, going for that last key. JhavA, meanwhile, is going through Sanctuary, heading right for Hive Gyro Chamber to get their suit. Yep, we got a question posed. How do you check the runners' agreements for other races? Well, KR, there's a schedule. We have a schedule posted in the Metroid Prime Randomizer community that contains all the runners' agreements and volunteers and who will be racing, etc., etc. That link can be found in the Prime Randomizer channel under events. And we will not be posting that link publicly as the security bot tags links, so sorry, can't give you the direct link, but I can tell you where to find it. Oh, unfortunately, Seekers weren't even really required. Well, yeah, they were required. They're only required for like two things. Number one, to get to endgame, and number two, for one key. And now JhavA finally has the light suit. More than likely, we're going to see an immediate Quadraxis play from him here. After we get out from the bottom of Hive Gyro and get over to the gate. Now, this all depends if JhavA knows how to do the triple bomb jump to get around the gate. So we'll wait and see what happens. All right, so we are not going for the gate to get those keys. Most likely, JhavA's going for the Annihilator door walk around on the opposite side near ATS. Now, that is a little bit of a walk to get to. And nice one frame pause there, Lenophis, on the elevator. Unfortunately, the elevator needs to be unpaused for it to activate. We do not have any elevator skips. At least not yet. Maybe one day in the future. Alrighty, so with that being said, we've just taken that last elevator to go down to the proper area over near Meeting Grounds. We're going to use this to detour all the way to the Sky Temple grounds, and in turn, this will get us right to the final bosses. So we're looking, again, at a solid 140 to 145, depending on how fast Lenophis does these final bosses. JhavA, unfortunately, is still missing 5 keys. We know for a fact 2 of them are on Quadraxis and 2 most respectfully. 1 on Reliquary, that makes 3. So there are 2 remaining that I cannot quite determine who has what. I apologize. I lost all the notes from an earlier technical difficulty. But that's okay. You know, we're all here to have fun, have a good time. So, let's go ahead and turn our Sky Temple keys in. Let's open the gateway to the final area. And let's get these final bosses defeated so that we can get this race over. It's been one wonderful time sitting here with both runners. Both have put up an amazing show, each with tremendous talent. So it's been absolutely fantastic to see how they both maneuver through this game. And now it's time for the Emperor Ring fight. Alright, Emperor Ring number 1. We'll be using Light Beam to destroy the 4 tentacles, then we'll be firing Annihilator Beam into this core, or the eye as I like to call it. And we're doing this to get a 1 cycle. Just gotta keep spamming. There we go, 1 cycle down, Pat. Now it's time for Emperor Ring number 2. We'll be using Spider Ball on the exoskeleton here to force these little mini tentacles to pop out of their crevices. And then we'll just be blowing them up with power bombs and bombs respectfully. The fastest method that we have is using a power bomb on 4 at once. Do that 3 times, 4, 8, 12. There's only 11 tentacles on here. That would be a perfect cycle. Except perfect cycles are a little difficult to pull off. Not too difficult, but it's still a little tricky. And then Emperor Ring 3, we'll be using Screw Attack on the underbelly. We're aiming right for the feet or ankle area, as there's a damage hitbox that was never removed. There was meant to be an additional way to damage Emperor Ring, they say. You know, it was meant to be damage with Screw Attack. That phase sort of got removed, but the hitbox was left over, and as such, we abuse that leftover hitbox and deal massive damage with Screw Attack anyway. So here we go, we're going to aim right for the ankles and the feet. Did we get massive damage? Yeah, we got a good amount down. Here we go, we're going to go for round 2. Got a little bit more damage that time. Then we'll try it again. Got knocked back, but we did a little bit more. Maybe one more try. Nope, we got blocked by the ankle. Or the kneecap. Yep, and we hit the kneecap itself. Nope, we want to aim a little bit lower. Alright, a little bit more damage pulled off. And now we're just going to spam fire Annihilator Beam to deal the last bit of damage. Got him stunned. And there we go. Emperor Ring 3 is down. This fight is over. It is time for the Dark Samus battle. The final challenge between you and your nemesis. Your doppelganger has been threatening you all game. Now it's time to put the final energy blast in the Metroid Prime. And let's let this battle be over. Alright, for Dark Samus 3 and 4, what we're doing here, we're firing a very specific number of Annihilator shots. We're going to do a precise amount of damage just after the last letter S on the health bar. Now that's going to force Dark Samus to rise up and come crashing down. Now when she crashes down, we're going to Screw Attack and attempt to do a stun lock on her. There's the Screw Attack. We did get bonked off her, but we did yeah, we got a little tiny bit of damage, not much. But now we're using missiles to try to find Dark Samus and force her into a stun lock. Oh no, and unfortunately we did get centered. Oh, darn it. Alright, so no Dark Samus skip today. You know, Lenophis did try. Many props to him for attempting it. Unfortunately, with the center, now we got to do the entire length of this fight. And there's JhavA over in Poison Bog. There's the Seeker launcher that he's been trying to get the entire time. And we finally have it. Yes, Tyrannosaur, I would agree that JhavA is slightly frustrated by the location of those Seeker missiles. And here we get to see the wonderful rare use of Echo Visor against Dark Samus 4. Get to see all those wonderful bones and whatnot. For now, JhavA's most likely taking the safe warp, and we'll just be going through the different regions. But first, well, JhavA's probably going to go get Sky Temple key hints, thanks to finally having Seeker missiles. Yep, and that was a nice little super missile. Once Dark Samus comes crashing down, we have a few frames where we can input some damage to her. Now we're just waiting for Dark Samus to release some phase-on bulbs so that we can fire them right back at her. Sadly, that is the only way to damage her while she's up in the air. Alright, nice job with the super missile. We're still continuing the fight. A few more hits should end it. Oh, we are so close to the finish line, folks. We are almost at the end. I will say, Echoes does have some fabulous boss music. You know, I usually don't get to hear it that often since these fights go by so quickly. But Echoes does have great soundtrack, and you know, the entire Metroid series is wonderful with its music. But that is time, GG 145-16. Congratulations, Lenophis. That's a first place victory. That's a GG with a forfeit from JhavA. That's been confirmed. All right, we're going to go and get these invites sent out right away. With that being said, if any of you would chat have any questions, comments, concerns, or inquiries you'd like to bring to our runners today, please, by all means, post them down below, and we'll be sure to get your question posed to both runners. So please bear with us as these invites get sent out. It's just going to take a little bit of time for the bot to catch up to us.
Just a little bit of time. Jeez.
Oh, you snuck in while I wasn't paying attention. Welcome, Lena.
Ultra big brain Giga Chad plays.
Either that or I just had my volume turned so low I didn't hear the entry ding.
So how about that? How about that routing?
Doesn't like me. Come on, button, hit the invite. How many times do I gotta hit this button? Oh, there it goes. Okay, we're good. Sitting there waiting for it to register. All right, with that being said, welcome, JhavA.
Hey, GG's, Leno.
GG's.
GG's. This was a seed. This was...
Holy
wow.
crap. This was awful.
It was terrible, to say the least. But with that, the
Really?
one question I liked...
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
The one thing I'd really want to ask him, what do you have to say to Astro for generating this race?
I blame my poor man eyesight for seeing the same palette in Phazon Grounds. We're like, no, that's just a missile. Thank you, Meeting Grounds, for saving my life.
Oh, I was going to ask you that later, but...
That was a big hint.
yeah, JhavA, you got that information first and pretty much said, oh, I'm going for that now.
Okay, I actually was like, oh, right, I don't have Dark Visor or Screw Attack, and I've never done that without either of them. I'm like, I guess we're going to find out how to do it. And then luckily Screw Attack was right on the way.
You got really perfect with that Screw Attack location.
Yeah, I got bailed out really well.
Yeah, Leno, you and Hot Dogs. You've got a really
Was it really a hot dog though? This was I
like to
saw,
say yes.
That's fair. I saw a completely different item, so I just blame. I'm an old man. I have a walking cane. I have prescription eyeglasses.
Hey, you do not take my quip away from me now. We discussed this.
Oh, Cannonball is on Airy. That's a great spot for that.
Oh yeah, somebody should let KR know.
Did you find double damage?
No.
Okay, that was the one thing I didn't find.
That's also that's the one thing I didn't find as well. I had unlimited missiles and unlimited beam ammo.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, right from Supers was right next to it, so that was nice. Yeah, I'm gonna look out for it on the restream. Did you pick up Seekers?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I figured that this was just the type of seed that you would just crush me because I don't know any Seeker skips. So I figured you could get hints pretty early compared to me.
I had 7 STKs by the time I found my Seeker missiles, and the last 2 I needed were Reliquary and Sacrificial Chamber.
Oh, okay. So you just completely skipped them, essentially.
I didn't do a single Seeker skip. I didn't do a single one.
Battleground had your double damage.
Double damage Battleground. Okay. Was never getting that. Yep. Yeah, I think in retrospect, had I just figured out that Seekers weren't on Chica. By the way, I fought Chica for them and realized that Poison Bog was also 2 rooms away from whatever room it said Venomous Pond. So,
yeah, that was a concern.
Oh, the Seekers were hinted? Oh.
Yeah. So Seekers were hinted in Training Chamber. That was the first hint I got after picking up Emerald. And then I'm trying to think of what led to that. So yeah, go.
Well, you did Sank first, you did Vault Side, you found your Emerald. Then you almost immediately routed in Statue Skip to go to Trading Chamber in Lower Torvus. You already had your gravity boost from Torvus Energy at that time.
That must have been our route divergence then, because I followed the power bombs from Storage G, went immediately into Sanctuary, and just did that full loop.
Oh yeah, I chased
the translator hint that was in main research. I'm like, okay, it's probably Cobalt, so I can get some hints. I didn't expect it to be Emerald.
Yeah, I remember seeing that hint. I just didn't think to follow it, honestly. Yeah, I'm trying to think, because I remember I actually felt like I was doing okay, because I don't know if you went straight to Aegon or did the Temple Grounds loop first, but like Temple Grounds...
Yeah, I did Aegon.
Yeah, Temple Grounds and Great Temple were loaded.
Yeah, cool Violet Translator and Hive Chamber B, by the way. That's not what I wanted with this preset.
I know, that's the first thing I thought was like, thank God he RA'd that the gate be open.
Yeah, Great Runner's Agreement that got deleted.
Yeah, let's just put the Violet right there, right under the doormat. Just thanks for nothing, game.
Yeah, so like Temple Grounds and Great Temple were loaded. Like Annihilator on on a main energy controller, and then I found a power bomb, two power bomb expansions actually. So I was able to check a couple of those, and found Dark Suit in Dynamo Chamber pretty early. So I felt like I was doing pretty well, and then once I realized that Seekers were going to be late, I hate late Seeker seeds. I don't know how to route them.
Yeah, Seekers were my go mode. Did you peek FTA?
I don't know how to do that, so no.
Okay.
I got a hint for it, and by that point, I had everything but Light Suit, Dark Visor, and Seekers, so I knew what it was.
Okay. I was missing Seekers, Dark Visor, and Cobalt Translator. And
I got the Cobalt hint too. That was hinted. That actually was hinted. Was it hinted in Dungeon? It might have.
Yes. Dungeon had a HUD system on it, and it cannot be Dark Visor unless Dark Visor deletes itself, which is rare.
Which it couldn't have been on this seed because there's an STK in Sanct Temple Access.
And Reliquary.
Yep.
What was I gonna say too? Oh yeah, I think there was an Emerald hint for it. It might have been in Dungeon, but I don't remember.
There was an Emerald hint off of Underground Tunnel, which led to a major in FTA.
Okay, yeah, that was at that point I had read the hint for a HUD system, so I assumed it was Cobalt, just in not locking Dark Visor. But yeah, at that point I knew that I needed Light Suit and then Dark Visor.
The Light Suit was hinted. I want to say, was that in the Taurus Energy Controller? Was that where that hint was?
Yeah, I actually went back for that after I got Emerald. After I fought Chica wrongly, I basically cleared the Boost Guardian loop and then the Torvus Plaza part, and then I just sold out for hints, and I'm like, I just need a suit hint, and luckily I got one.
Yeah, I think you got bailed out so much with that Light Suit hint.
Yeah,
I already had Light Suit by the time I saw that suit hint. Like, oh, okay. So what I did, there was the hint. Oh, it was Path of Eyes or something like that. It just said Quadraxis has Sky Temple Key 6 or whatever it was. I'm like, okay, you know what? We have our Dark Suit. We have 3 energy tanks. We have unlimited beam ammo. I think I found that on the way. We're going to go rush quad. And we know where Gravity Boost is. That's at Taurus Energy Controller. And then we'll just go back for supers at some point. And thank you, Tumos, for having that STK that I guarantee you nobody was going to find unless you specifically got the hint for it.
Yeah.
That was luck.
a little bit of luck.
Yep. I remember seeing that, and I was like, well, at least quad's worth 2 STKs today. Yeah, it seems like Sank was just the play. Because I think once you routed that in, you pretty much had everything you needed other than Gravity and... Is it just Gravity?
Or for what room?
It's, Seekers.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, like you had Light Suit to lead to Dark Visor, and then you could have gotten Seekers once you went to Torvus. So, yeah, that was we read the logic well. I avoided Sank like the plague. So
there wasn't really like the third worm key was on main gyro. Like there really wasn't much in Sank. There really wasn't.
It just had like enough of what you needed to push you in the right direction. Because I got so punished for doing Torvus first, because I couldn't get Seekers on the first pass, and then I also didn't have Light Suit, and I also didn't have Emerald on my first pass, so I couldn't get any of the hints until after I had gone through the upper loop, did Torvus Energy Controller, then went back through Training Chamber. And then gotten that Emerald.
Let's see. What else was of major notice here? Leno, you had some trouble over in Sanctuary early on in Transit Station trying to get that SDK.
Yeah, so because I didn't have screw attack, because I really put off the Temple Grounds loop. I saw the Transit Station SDK, like, okay, no, this is a simple bomb space jump. It's kind of a max height bomb space jump, but it's a simple one. And I didn't get it, and I didn't get it, and I didn't get it, and I didn't get it. I drew a question mark. I didn't get it.
And then you finally got it.
And then I finally got it. I was
Nice.
slightly confused about why I couldn't get that bomb space jump, because that one usually does not give me issues.
You can get that with a normal BSJ, not a 3 BSJ?
I do a 3 BSJ because it's pretty much max height.
Okay.
You might be able to get you might be able to get it with a 2, but that might be kind of tough.
Yeah, I was gonna say that seems like a ridiculously.
It's a big jump. Yeah, it's a big jump.
Yeah. Yeah, I had screw attack by the time I went there, so that was one of the 4 I got. Yeah, the 5 I put off were the 2 quad keys, and then Ing Reliquary, Grapple Guardian, and what was it? Oh, Temple Access, that was free.
Yeah. The SDKs just kind of were on path, like.
Yeah, they weren't really that. Honestly, I saw them. Like, once I read them, I was like, yeah, I lost. Because, I mean, if you had just... You really didn't need Seekers.
For anything, yeah.
Really anything, other than to get to Sky Temple.
Mm-hmm. That kind of worked out in my favor. Now, I will say, since you brought up the Seeker skip, Sky Temple Gateway, I am horrible. I am the absolute bad at that particular Seeker skip. I've never pulled it off. I was not going to put my tournament life, the bracket life, on trying to get that particular Seeker skip. So I made it a point to go get the Seekers, find them wherever they were.
Yeah, certainly the right decision. It paid off for sure, because I could not believe I fought Chica. That was so funny.
So where was the... I only have 2 Chica keys. I don't remember. Where was the...
Under Temple. It was the screw attack wall. Basically, what I did was...
Oof.
I completely... It's actually hilarious, because my very first race in this tournament, Seekers were also in Poison Bog. And I think it was an identical hint. Like, it could have been on Chica, and it could have been on Poison Bog. And for some reason, today, I just completely forgot that Poison Bog was 2 rooms away from Venomous Pond.
Mm-hmm.
That was the hint. It was 2 rooms away from Dark Torvus Key, too. But honestly, I think had I realized that, I might have still done Chica, because I probably would have just done the whole lower Torvus loop. Then, if I found that key, I probably would have just said, what the heck, and gone for it.
Okay.
Yeah, that did not pay off.
It made sense at the time. It was either that or Poison Bog, and well,
yeah, I kind of thought about it. I was like, this isn't the worst play in the world. Like, once I realized it wasn't there, I'm like, like if they were there, that would have paid off tremendously. It wouldn't have saved me, because I think Leno at that point was pretty far ahead, but would have been cool.
I don't know. I mean, if Chica would have had something, like, did you find the Torvus Key hints at all, or did you just?
I did. Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's kind of why I started going for Chica more too. Was it was hinted in Dark Aegon and Dark Torvus Bog, and I already had 2 at that time.
Yeah, that's probably the same 2 I had.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing the Chica hint itself was Cobalt hint. What did Chica have?
Missile.
Oh.
I didn't get a single Amber hint, so it definitely could have been one of those.
It was not Amber. Well, I mean, it could have been Amber. The only Amber hint I didn't... Well, no, there's 2. I didn't get Energy Controller or Mining Station B.
Oh, you were in Aegon with Amber. Okay.
Yeah. It was a second loop Aegon with Amber, but I was in there with Amber.
Okay, yeah. I never touched Aegon after my first pass through it.
The only reason I went back to Aegon was to loop that through into Sanctuary to go fight Quadraxis, because there was an SDK on him. And I had just picked up Annihilator. That's the only reason why I went back to Aegon.
Oh yeah, and you probably had Annihilator a lot later than me.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I picked it up within the first. I did that loop first, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, I was very late to Annihilator because I was 40 minutes until I did Temple Grounds loop.
Did you need an Annihilator for anything except quad?
Just quad.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if you wanted the unlimited beam ammo for Profane Path.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But
Um,
I think for actual progression, Annihilator only locked because Sentinel's Path was an energy tank. Main gyro was the Aegon key. Whatever Worm had, I didn't see what Worm hint.
I didn't get it either.
Yeah, no, Annihilator had no progression on it outside of leaving quad.
Okay. Yeah, because I figured like usually the beams are buried when Annihilator's that early, but yeah, Dark Beam was really early, and then like Light Beam was pretty nice too.
Yeah, Light Beam and main power bombs right next to each other. Like, oh,
yeah,
okay, that is super convenient. Let's just go straight to Sanctuary then. Like that literally just steered me right into Sanctuary.
Yeah, I made the same play. I just stopped after Spider's Treasure. I didn't have Did I have grapple at that time? I did not, because that was in what was it? Was it sand processing?
Incash 3 for your grapple where vanilla Light Beam is.
Right, right.
Yeah. I picked that up because Screw Attack might have been a little bit late. No, I was just late to it.
Yeah, that was my same thought. I didn't know where Screw Attack could be, so I figured I'd pick it up. But I think at that point I just had no idea where what was I saying? Oh, yeah, I think at that point I didn't have grapple or Screw Attack when I had the Light Beam and the power bombs. So I just stopped once I got to Spider's Treasure and then bailed out of Sync.
Okay.
Seemed like the right play at the time.
Oh, Marion, you mentioned hot dog. Actually, I did commit a hot dog, but not.
I'm not surprised.
not the one you're thinking of. So when I did,
I'm sorry, it's mean, but
no, but that's also fair. But this was kind of like an intentional hot dog.
Was it Sank map when you're riding back through Sank?
No, it was actually Watch Station. It was Watch Station the first time I was in Sanctuary because I was just bum rushing main research for.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Plus, you can't get Cobalt. Sank map was locked anyway. Can't do that.
So I'm like, you know what? Watch Station might be kind of a bad orphan here, but we'll just hope and let RNGesus take the wheel. Thankfully, it worked out because it was just a missile after I fought quad.
Hey, at least you remember to pick up the energy. All right, let's give you that.
Yes.
You got the energy. You actually managed to get back to the check. So, what else is on here? Let's see. Nope, we did that. We did that. We did that. Let's see. No. Your STKs, and we already talked about them. I mean, y'all pretty much found your STKs along the normal route. There's nothing really route divergent for your keys today.
Yeah, the only real bad ones were the Tumos and Quad. Like the other ones were so free. Like I found the 4 I found I just found on my route.
Yeah, you would have found a couple more on your route too. Like Reliquary was probably the worst one for me because.
Oh yeah, I did actually scan that hint, so I figured that was there. That one kind of sucks.
I put it off as long as I did because at the time I had 2 worm keys, 1 Chicka key and no hive keys. Like, you know what? There's like a 5 out of 6 chance that this is not gonna be an STK. And I think I already had 4 at that point. Like, you know what? We're just gonna bank on Reliquary not being required, and if it is, so be it. We'll come back to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually, if somehow you had really flubbed this, I actually think I had a pretty decent route for the ending of this because I would have gone Temple Access Quad, Sacrificial Chamber through Training Chamber up to Temple Access Quad, go to Main Energy Controller, and then I'm right next to. What was the last one? Why am I forgetting it? Whatever. I had a decent route plan for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really annoyed I'm blanking on the last one.
It happens. I'm sure it'll come to you.
I didn't write down where all of them were because they were just mostly free.
Yeah,
I mean, Quadraxis, Transit Station, Junction Site, Tumos, Sacrificial Chamber, in Reliquary, Sanctuary, Temple Access.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, Reliquary, I could have gone right from Great Temple into the portal and then gotten that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I actually felt like I would have routed it pretty fast, relatively, but yeah, there's no way I was beating that time.
Honestly, Jet Seeds kind of like this. These scare me a little bit because it can be decided by routing, but and at the same time, it's like if I have anyone who can match my execution, I'm screwed. And I know you can definitely max my execution. Like, okay, so if you have done some of the similar routing and maybe even did something better, like pick up your super's first pass, so you don't triple dip phase on grounds, for example. Like, oh yeah, so I'm in trouble. I guess it's kind of fortunate that the supers didn't really need anything either. Like, technically you needed them for gravity boost in Torva's energy controller, but you can just backdoor that with the energy from quad. So supers were basically needed for lower Torvus' sack chamber and then Sky Temple Gateway. That's it. That's all supers were needed for.
Yeah, I guess that didn't lead to any progression. Well, for me, it led to, I guess no, you didn't need to go there to get to Sank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Really? Yeah. I kind of thought like after this was over, I'm like, dang, you needed everything for this. But yeah, supers and seekers were basically like just like the keys 10 and 11 for Sky Temple.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
All right. Well, with that being said, we're going to start wrapping up our program here. Lenophis, JhavA, anything you two would like to say as far as a closing statement goes?
Yeah, JhavA, GG's. Unfortunately, I think your tournament run is going to come to an end. I believe your record is now 3-3.
It's 3-3 for JhavA. Leno, you've got a 4-2.
4-2. I have a chance, but considering my losses, I'm not liking my chances. I probably need some help, but if we can make it to bracket stage, we're going to make some noise.
Yeah, I've definitely rooting for you there. Definitely deserve that playoff spot if you do get it. So I wish you luck if your tournament continues.
Thank you. Just unfortunate of the results. I wish I would have seen you in brackets because I know you're a really good player.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I was happy when I saw this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, you both did fantastic. It was a pleasure watching you both go head-to-head at each other. I'd say, unfortunately, JhavA, your early routing was fantastic, going for Temple Ground so early. That saved you with the power bombs and Aegon for some faster cleanup times. But unfortunately, in the end, with Leno's play in Sanctuary doing a full cleanup early, sort of pushed Leno right towards the direction that was needed.
Yeah, but that's rando for you. I wasn't upset with how I played, so I'm more than happy to lose to that, especially to someone that like Leno that's really good.
Yeah, you both should be very happy for how far you've come and are going to continue to go along. And you both did a fantastic job today and throughout the entire tournament at that. So no disappointment anywhere. You both did a dang good job. But with that being
get on my back. Right. We're doing bracket stage.
You'll be all right. Don't worry. We'll all get to watch you hot dog something major again. Don't worry, it's coming. With that being said, thank you everyone for joining us here at SpeedGaming for the continuation of our Echoes tournament. With that being said, we do have a few more races tonight. Currently, on SpeedGaming 2, we have Bellator versus Op82 with Bealo on commentary. That race is just about an hour in. I think they've got about roughly 7 STKs with a lot left to continue. But coming up tonight in roughly, I say about 45 minutes, that's 7 Eastern, Xeno Wars versus Reed Whaley right here on Speed Gaming 1. And I think you're commentating that along with Mark.
I am. This is going to be a fun one.
Oh, nice. Absolutely. Since you've got full individual door lock random with one-way anywheres.
Yep. Although I thought the one-way anywheres were banned. We'll have to confer with that. I think that.
Yeah, I think it was too.
Yeah, so I think that part. I think that part of the RA is going to be removed.
Double check with Reggie. He should have the information that, or Reed. Reed might have the definitive answer on that. And then we have one final race, 8:30 Eastern on Speed Gaming 2, right after the one with Bellator. We'll have Captain MD versus Ivy Pod, so that's going to be an interesting one to see. With another door rando. What is with the door randos today?
Always door rando.
All right. As always, if you'd like to keep up to date with anything Metroid related, or if you'd like to tag along with either of these two runners, their Twitch information and the community information is posted below. Bracket information for the current Echo standings is followed on the second link. And with that being said, we're going to switch everything over to Speed Gaming 2 to check in on our current race. So with that, we'll see you next mission.
Take care, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.